It is 102.5 KSFM, your boy Big Mike, Sacramento, man. I'm very happy right now because we have a special guest in here. I always love when I meet an artist for the first time, somebody just kicking off, and they come by the studio right here, man. Her single is making noise all over the country, and right here, she's with us at KSFM. I'd like to welcome the Bonfyre. What's up?
What's up? What's going on?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to the 916.
Thank you.
I know you've been traveling all over the country, so that, we like it when you come to the West Coast and hang out with us over here.
Yeah, it's been a journey, but I love the fact that I'm here.
And I want to make sure I get it correct. Is it the Bonfyre? Is it just Bonfyre? Or?
Yep, it's the Bonfyre.
Okay, well, tell me about that name. Where does that come from?
So, when I first started doing music and just finding who I was as an artist, people would always used to ask me what I want my music to sound like, and I would always describe it as a bonfire. And it was dope because the way it would resonate to people, they'd be like, oh, okay. They would get it because it's like, when you think about a bonfire, it's always a good time. It's always, you're either with your friends, your family, but most importantly, it's a good time, good vibes. You can be at a beach, in the woods, at your auntie's house, but it's always welcome. It's always inviting, and you mark memories during those times, and you're listening to music. You could be crying, happy, laughing, but you mark memories and make timeless memories, and that's how I wanted my music to resonate to people. I wanted people to feel welcome and relate to me, and just, I really wanted to mark memories and make timeless music.
Well, now you got me wanting to go start some fires really quick. I just want to sit around a fire, pop up something nice and delicious to drink on, and listen to some good music.
Yeah,
good music's what you're doing now. I like to think that I'm pretty well versed on new artists. I like to think that I got my ear to the pavement, and a lot of new artists. I know a lot about them. To be honest, other than the single, I don't know your backstory. This is kind of the first time I've kind of been introduced to you, so that's why I'm excited to meet you now. Tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you get into music? How did this all start for you?
Yeah. So I'm from Massachusetts. Okay. I'm from a small town, Chicopee, Massachusetts. It's not really a music town, so to say, like being from New York or California or something. But, music and entertaining has always been a part of me. How I was raised. My family has been in the entertainment business for ever since I was born, really. They're dancers, musicians, and singers as well. But my journey first started, I'd say, with being an entertainer is, my parents, they're both entertainers. They're dancers. They're Polynesian dancers. Oh, wow. See, my stepdad raised me, and he's from the Pacific Island. He's from Samoa. So Polynesian culture, they dance. So my aunt and uncle owned this Polynesian show in Chicopee, and they did it at a restaurant called the Hukilau, and that was like the hot spot in my town because there's not much to do out there at all except go to the movies or something. Which
is fun.
Yeah, which is cool. I love watching a good movie. Yeah, just normal things, going to the mall. But that was like the hot spot in Chicopee. And, they had comedians and all that. But every weekend, they would hold a Polynesian show, Friday, Saturday. And back in the day, like the 90s, when it was more, like they would have it on the weekdays as well. But, my uncle, he just used to throw us out there and, dancing and singing. And as I grew, that's what I was doing. I was over there every weekend. It was practically we lived there pretty much because even if I wasn't dancing or performing, my parents always were. So that's kind of where I got my nick. And, as I got a little older, singing really became something I did. This is my passion. This is what I love. I started doing YouTube videos, sitting in front of the computer, putting them up on YouTube and just flipping covers. At the time, I didn't really have my own music. I just was doing covers and, just singing, not even singing locally. I just was in the house singing and putting up YouTube videos. But that's really where I started that's a little background of how I got introduced.
Well, and apparently it paid off because here you are. You got your single. It's been, like I said, it's been kind of taking off here across the country, and you're teaming up with Yellow Beezy. It's called Ready to Love.
Yeah.
The production on it is crazy. The minute that beat kicks in, you're like, oh, damn. What's this right here? What brought that record about?
Production, Harmony Samuels actually produced it. It's basically a hone in on my feelings, really. Yeah. My hope, I know you said you didn't get a chance to listen to my EP, but basically it's about the ups and downs of a real relationship and, being in love and heartbroken at the same time because, people go through those things. I feel like people don't really touch on being in love with deeply in love with someone, but also hurting at the same time from that same person. If you take a listen, each song kind of walks you through of those feels that you feel for the first time when you meet that person. And then when you actually fall in love with them, and can you trust them, and just being heartbroken after certain incidents happen. But Ready to Love is basically about me saying, like, when you're ready to love, I know it's going to be me. Like, I love you. You know, I had to step away. Like, get off the games, get off the funniness. And when you're ready to love, like, it's going to be me.
Yeah.
But I'm not a sad singer. But, you know, people go through things. And I guess Ready to Love, and I also titled it that, is because I didn't want people to feel like I was depressed all the time, but because, you know, my spirit's not lost. It's just giving people an insight of what I'm going through. And I know there's millions of men and women going through the same thing as me. So that's where it came about. And Yellow Beezy hopped on it. I love him. He's amazing. He's a character. But yeah, we came together and made this amazing record.
So I'm sure you're working on your next EP or your next album, and I'm sure you got a wish list of artists you're trying to work with. Who you trying to work with?
Yeah, I love J. Cole. J. Cole is one of my favorite artists, hands down.
He was just here 2
rapper.
weeks ago. Killed it.
Oh, see? Yeah. I love him so much. It would be, oh my gosh, I would fangirl if I ever got But J. Cole definitely, and I'll say J. Cole for right now.
That's a good one to have on the list right there.
There's so many talented people, and there's so many people that I look up to. So right now on my radar is definitely J. Cole.
We definitely have to at J. Cole. We posted like J. Cole, just so you know. What do you know? What's next for you? Is an album planned, or are you just kind of focused on the single right now?
Yeah.
You know, what's your goals for the rest of 2018?
To have a #1 album. Yeah,
Okay.
to create the album.
Okay.
I'm working on an album. I'm actually working on the second half of this EP.
Cool.
So that's what my fans can look forward to, and people can look forward to. And videos, definitely visuals coming. My first live performance on the 24th at MTV TRL.
Oh, wow.
Yep, that's coming in a couple days now.
Be a trip.
Yep, so MTV.
Well, and in this game, it's always good, to have people that you can look up to in the music business. I mean, you got somebody who's like your manager, who you can easily look up to as somebody who's made some. Tell everybody about your manager.
Yeah. So currently, my manager is Yancey Richardson, but through Yancey Richardson came Raphael Sadiq.
Ooh.
So Raphael Sadiq has been a mentor, a big brother to me. How that all came about is when I was posting up those YouTube videos. Actually, someone from Harlem reached out to me, and it was a club promoter, and he was like, yo, I think you're really dope. I want you to perform at my club. And this is like the first time that I would ever really leave Chicopee and do something, a live show. So I went out there, me and my mom, and I performed 3 covers. I didn't even have my own material. Yeah. And I blew that girl out the water. That club owner was friends with Yancey at the time, kind of name dropped. He said my name, and he was like, check out this girl. And that's when Yancey see me, and Raphael reached out to me on social media.
Wow.
And he reached out to me, and I was like, is this real life?
You're like, is there a blue check mark on the name? Is this the right guy?
Exactly. I was looking for the check. I was like, this is not a real thing, but it was a real thing. And he called me not too much, like I want to say like 10 minutes later after I replied. And the day after, he flew me right to Atlanta. Ooh. And that's when I had my first meet with Raphael. I waited for a whole year to actually move out to Atlanta. And I was there 4 years, just grinding, like I said, trying to find who the Bonfyre was and just working on music. I had so much music that I was working on, and I actually threw up a cover to Lauryn Hill's song, Sweetest Thing, on SoundCloud. And, people started recognizing me, like, okay, like getting a feel for me. And then that's when I started getting reached out to by labels. And Hitco LA was the second label that reached out to me. And when I took that meeting and I walked into that room, I knew that was my home. That was where I was supposed to be, and he wouldn't let me leave, so I had to sign.
That'll always help the process go along.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, when you walked in, the first thing you did was compliment my shirt, so we already on good graces. I already messed with your shirt's pretty awesome as well.
Thank you.
And so, I mean, we're on good terms, so I'm glad you stopped by. You, boosted my self-esteem for the day. I'm like, I need to wear this shirt more often. So
Yeah.
appreciate that. Well, the Bonfyre, we want to thank you for making time for us here at the station. Like I said, we played in the 9 o'clock knock and on a mix show. And so it's definitely a song that I think you're going to have a lot of success with. And I appreciate you making time for us now. And when you do get like super, super successful, just remember us.
Yeah.
We'll still be here hanging out. Our door will always be open. So, always make sure you make some time to stop by and say hello to us.
Thank you.
All right,
Definitely.
Bonfyre, thank you so much. Ready to Love. Go check it out. You can check it out here on KSFM. Thanks so much.